My name is David. I am 41 years old. And if you had met me 3 years ago, you probably would have thought I had the perfect life. I had a loving wife named Emma. We had been married for 16 years. We also had a beautiful daughter named Sophie. She was 12 years old and the light of my life. Every morning I woke up at 6 o'clock. Emma made coffee while I got ready for work. Sophie usually sat at the kitchen table eating cereal and talking about school. Those mornings were simple, but they were beautiful. Before leaving the house, I always kissed Emma on the forehead. "See you tonight," I would say, and she would smile and reply, "Drive safely." Back then, I believed those little moments would last forever. I worked as a senior operations manager for a large manufacturing company. I had worked there for 15 years. 15 long years. I missed birthdays. I missed family dinners. I worked weekends. I stayed late almost every night. But I never complained, because I thought I was building a secure future for my family. Looking back now, I realize how quickly life can change. It happened on a Tuesday morning, a completely ordinary Tuesday. I parked my car, walked into the office, smiled at my coworkers. Just another normal day. About an hour later, my phone rang. "David, can you come to the conference room?" my supervisor asked. Something about his voice felt strange. When I entered the room, 3 people were sitting there. My supervisor, someone from Human Resources, and a man I had never seen before. My stomach immediately tightened. "Please sit down, David." The next few minutes felt like a nightmare. The company was downsizing. Budget cuts. Position eliminations. My job was gone. 15 years. 15 years of loyalty. 15 years of hard work. Gone in less than 5 minutes. I remember staring at the table. I couldn't hear half of what they were saying. My mind was completely blank. This can't be happening. Someone handed me a folder. Someone else explained my severance package, but none of it mattered. All I could think about was Emma, Sophie, the mortgage, the bills, our future. An hour later, I walked out of the building carrying a small cardboard box. Inside that box were 15 years of my life. Family photos, a coffee mug Sophie had given me, some awards, a few notebooks. That's all that was left. I sat inside my car, and for the first time in many years, I cried. Not because I lost the job, but because I felt like I had failed the people I loved most. I felt ashamed. I felt scared. I felt completely lost. My phone buzzed. It was Emma. A text message. "Don't forget dinner tonight. Sophie wants to show us something from school." I stared at that message for a long time. Tears filled my eyes again. They had no idea what had just happened. They had no idea our lives were about to change forever. I started the car, but I didn't drive home. Instead, I parked near a quiet lake outside the city. I sat there for almost 2 hours, thinking, worrying, imagining the disappointment on Emma's face. What if she loses respect for me? What if I can't find another job? What if everything falls apart? As the sun slowly began to set, I opened my wallet. Inside was a small photo, Emma and I on our wedding day. We looked so happy, so hopeful, so certain about the future. I stared at that photo for a very long time. Then I looked toward the road leading home. Finally, I started the engine. Because no matter how scared I was, I still had to tell my wife the truth. And at that moment, I had absolutely no idea that losing my job would be only the beginning of my nightmare. About 4 months after losing my job, I stopped checking the clock. There was no reason to. Every day felt exactly the same. I would wake up, sit at the kitchen table, open my laptop, and pray that someone, somewhere, would give me a chance. One morning, I looked across the table and saw Emma staring at a stack of unpaid bills. She wasn't drinking her coffee. She wasn't reading her phone. She was just staring at those bills. And for the first time, I saw fear in her eyes. Real fear. The kind of fear that keeps people awake at night. I wanted to say something. I wanted to tell her everything would be okay. But the truth was, I wasn't sure anymore. Every interview seemed promising at first. Every interviewer smiled. Every interviewer shook my hand. Every interviewer said the same thing. We'll get back to you soon. But they never did. One afternoon, I came home after another interview. I had worn my best suit. I had practiced my answers all morning. I had driven across the city believing this would finally be the one. As soon as I walked through the front door, Emma looked up hopefully. How did it go? I looked at her, then I looked away. That was all she needed to see. Her shoulders dropped, slowly, quietly, like someone who had already heard too much bad news. That night, we sat at the dinner table with Sophie. She was talking about school, talking about her friends, talking about a science project she was excited about. Emma smiled. I smiled. But both of us were pretending, because underneath those smiles, we were scared. A few weeks later, things became even harder. We started cutting expenses. No restaurant dinners, no family movie nights, no weekend trips. Every dollar mattered. Every bill felt heavier. Every day felt longer. One evening, I found Emma sitting alone in the living room after midnight. The television was off. The lights were dim. The whole house was quiet. She was staring out the window. Just staring. "Why are you still awake?" I asked. She didn't answer immediately. Then she whispered, "I'm scared, David." Those words broke my heart. Because Emma had always been strong. She was the person who comforted everyone else, the person who stayed calm during difficult moments. But now, even she was falling apart. I sat beside her. I took her hand. "We'll get through this," I said. She nodded, but I could tell she didn't believe it. Honestly, I wasn't sure I believed it either. The next month was the worst one yet. Rejections kept coming, savings kept shrinking, stress kept growing. And little by little, the distance between Emma and me started growing too. Not because we stopped loving each other, but because pain changes people. Because fear changes people. Sometimes it makes them pull away from the people they need most. Then came the night I will never forget. It was raining outside. Heavy rain, the kind that hits the windows so hard you can't ignore it. I walked into the kitchen and found Emma standing near the sink. Her back was facing me. Something felt wrong immediately. "Emma?" She didn't turn around. For several seconds, she just stood there. Then she slowly wiped her eyes. She had been crying. When she finally looked at me, I saw tears running down her face. "I can't do this anymore," she said. My heart stopped. "What do you mean?" She looked away. "I'm tired, David. I'm tired of being afraid every day. I'm tired of wondering what's going to happen to us. I'm tired of pretending I'm okay. I didn't know what to say, because part of me understood exactly how she felt. I was exhausted too. I was scared too. I was breaking too. 2 days later, I came home and immediately noticed something strange. The house felt different. Too quiet. Too empty. Then I saw the suitcases. My stomach dropped. Emma? She walked out of the bedroom, holding another bag. The moment I saw her face, I knew. She was leaving. Not for a few hours, not for a few days. Leaving. Deep silence. Please don't do this. My voice barely sounded like my own. 16 years together, and suddenly I was begging my wife to stay. Emma started crying too. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Then she walked past me, opened the front door, and disappeared into the rain. I stood there for a long time, just standing, listening to the rain, listening to the silence. And for the first time since losing my job, I realized something. Losing my career wasn't the worst thing that had happened to me. Losing Emma was. And as I stood alone in that empty house, I had no idea that 1 year later, the woman who walked away from me would unexpectedly come back.